Hello, this is Tim Law with Planet Forward Coaching and Self-Reliant You. Always remember your dreams, your goals, your life, and your career are all essential. A big thank you to over 390 people who have subscribed to this channel. Appreciate it very much. Always remember too, whatever your mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. I have a wonderful friend of mine, Anga Strine, that I'm going to talk to today a little bit about her story, her background as a track person, as well as track coach, among other sports. She's knowledgeable in a lot of them. Wonderful friend, phys ed lady up at the Northeastern Middle School. So welcome, Anga. Let's hear what you have to say here.
Thank you. Well, I'll just talk a little bit about my upbringing, and I'm what you consider a lifetime Bobcat because I was born and raised in Mount Wolf, graduated from Northeastern High School. I was a three-sport athlete back when I was in high school. I did field hockey, basketball, and track, but track was probably my main interest. I loved the hurdles and I ran those. Unfortunately, when I was a junior in basketball, I tore my ACL. So that was a little disappointment in my senior year, but I had believe it or not, it was the basketball coach who, different day and age, he gave me a key to the high school and I would go in on weekends and work out because when I had the surgery done, they couldn't repair my ACL and they told me I'd never run the hurdles again. And I wanted to run the hurdles. So I had a great basketball coach, gave me a key to the high school. I went in as a high schooler, worked out on weekends and got myself back so that when I went to college and I ran hurdles in college and did pretty well, actually. So whatever, if you put your mind to something and you want it, you can do it. So
yeah, absolutely. And well, and I give you a lot of credit as far as a high school kid, being willing to go in and do that extra training and everything like that. That's a rare individual. Also, I remember those days where you could kind of get a key from somebody and, get into the school. And obviously those days have changed.
Those days are gone.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. So we won't, because the statute of limitations is probably over, but we still probably don't want to mention his name, okay, or her name, whoever it was.
Oh, no. Yeah, that was way back in the 80s. So
right. Yeah. I think we're probably good now.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your track and coaching career or college, days.
Yeah, in college, I had a track coach. He was phenomenal. He was probably before his time because he did a lot of relaxation visualization things that we do now with our athletes. He did that back then and it was kind of fresh and new. And when I went to college, my times really dropped. So he really helped me out. And I think a lot of that spilled over into my coaching because I started coaching the year after I graduated from college and I coached for 20 years of track, varsity track, doing the hurdles and the sprinters and the relays. And I used a lot of his coaching technique pretty much right away. He was he was into positive thinking, relaxation, just seeing yourself be successful. And, a lot of it's mental. So he was a big influence on me as an athlete and as a coach. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, and I know I'm preaching to the choir to you, but there's so many things, like you say, with the positive thinking, the mental rehearsal visualization, where when we go down that road to hit the zone and everything, it's like we're taking some of the barriers off of ourselves and we can open up and
it then becomes routine.
Yeah.
So if you're used to doing that, then it actually starts to innate itself and become more of a routine for you. So.
Sure. And then being able to hit that zone or whatever, we actually tap into more of our potential. And if that potential happens to lead to world class, awesome, or basically just becoming the best we can be while we get rid of the negative things that hold us back.
Yes. Yeah, I had a great story too that I would tell my athletes when I started coaching. When I was in high school, I was the fastest sprinter my senior year on the relay team. And at that time, my umbrella is blowing.
Yeah, that's okay. It's okay.
I wasn't as fast as I was in college. So we had 4 girls who ran the relay and we just clicked. We all had good attitudes. We practiced, we worked hard. None of us were outstanding sprinters. And my senior year, we went to states and got a 4th place medal at states.
Wow.
So like I said, at that time, I was probably running one of my slower 100 times compared to what I did in college. So, you know, again, it's all about how you focus, how you think, your attitude towards it, and determination. So
Sure. No,
yeah.
totally agree there. What so you get into the realm of teaching and coaching, and what were some of the things that you had tried to apply as far as some of your kids were concerned?
Well, I think a lot of times breaking it down and making it simple for them. Sometimes we expect them to automatically know how to do something because they've seen it or we talked them through it. But I tried to break it down a lot. And that applies also with teaching, you know, whole, and seeing, you know, the different steps. Although I have to say, I had back in the 90s, there was a group of athletes who came through that were very intelligent, and sometimes they broke it down too much and analyzed too much. And I told them sometimes you have to go on feeling. I remember in the hurdles, they were thinking about it maybe a little bit too much then. So you have to read your athletes. You have to kind of know who they are and what works with them and what maybe you might want to stay away from. So. Right.
Well, and in that term, it always kind of triggers different things, but kind of call that the paralysis of analysis, because, you know, in sports, so much is action reaction. They say, and I always like to use the boxing metaphor. They say, if you see that punch coming, you got tagged. You know, you've either got to react and slip it, or you do get it. In sports and athletics, like I say, with the hurdles, that type of thing. I mean, you know, you're listening for the shot, for the gun to go off, and then it's you, and then those steps leading to each hurdle. And, you know, there's so much action reaction in sport that you only get slowed down if you try to make it a conscious thing. It's got to be unconscious.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about maybe some of your peers there at the middle school that have helped you and been an influence for you, you know?
Well, yeah, over the years, you know, I was the youngest for many years because I was around Deb McGee and Glenn Evie and Kathy Thompson, Bob McElwain. And, you know, they were great influences on me. I loved working with them. They were a lot of fun. And now the group of guys I work with, what can I say? They keep me on my toes, let me tell you. They are fun. They've got my back and they know what they're doing. So, and that's Corey Polson and Diana Sprinkle and Nick DeTore. So yeah, they're a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, you've been blessed in your career, you know, being surrounded with some of the mentors, you know, older than you, of course, to help you kind of guide you a little bit, and then, you know, having this younger group that you're you know, involved with and that kind of thing. You know, certainly been blessed as far as your career. It makes it a lot of fun, you know.
Yeah, PE has changed over the years. I mean, when I first started in PE, it was a lot on team sports, learning the rules, going through all the skills. And then we hit that lifetime fitness kind of phase where we're teaching the kids how to apply certain fitness elements so that they become interested in doing things that might go beyond high school sports or college sports. And the group of guys that I have that came in were just fresh out of college with all those new concepts. So they really educated me in the beginning on transitioning from that, you know, teaching the sports, learning the skills, the rules, to applying other types of fitness skills to activities to make it more fun and more lifetime skills.
Sure. Well, and certainly in the long run, it's great to be, you know, a good athlete and everything, and depending on what level you get at, but it's certainly something you want to make it so much fun that they want to continue, you know, through their lives. Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
So any particular humorous stories that you have of, you know, various times that you've been teaching and coaching, Anja?
Wow. Now that I think about it, I mean, there was probably a lot of different humorous times. One of the one time that I talked about before with you, we discussed previously, was when I was in college. You should never judge a person by the way they look or the way they act, because it can come back and nip you in the butt. And with me, I had a college roommate who organized recreational games on the weekends at college for people to just go down and have fun. And she partnered me against, or not partnered me, she had me go against another female in a badminton tournament. And this female when she was getting ready to play, I went over to some of my other roommates that were sitting there and said, "Oh, I got this. I got this." Because she didn't look very athletic.
Uh-huh.
And boy, did I learn a lesson, because she had my butt running all over that badminton court, and she stood in one place. And then later on, I found out that my roommate had put me against I think it was Connecticut or one of the New England states state champion badminton winner. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So I was eliminated first round.
Well, just like in tennis, I'm sure badminton's the same way. You kind of hit it where they are, and then all the misdirection. Right. I mean, there's just so many skills there. Yeah.
I was running all over the place. I was sweating and she was just standing still, Yeah.
What advice would you give to, some of the middle schoolers or high school kids, going forward as far as their life and career are concerned, Angie, as we kind of get closer to, concluding here?
Okay. My biggest thing is, if somebody tells you, that you can't do something and you really want to do it and it's your passion, just do it. Just put your heart into it and do as much as you can. You don't have to be an outstanding athlete, but do what you like and you enjoy, and don't let anybody hold you back. That's my biggest thing. Because there were times in my life that, I had little people telling me, oh, I don't know, like, you can't run the hurdles anymore. You don't have an ACL. And I'm glad I didn't listen to them, because I had a wonderful time in college and ran them successful. And I don't regret any moment of doing that. So that's probably my biggest advice to, somebody in middle school, high school, college athletes.
Sure. No, and it's a great thought there that, and again, probably the most challenging thing is, okay, what is your passion,
Great.
And then try to, that's why trying a lot of different things in high school, whether you and I talked about this before, whether it's sports, band, music, extracurricular,
Right.
We obviously kind of lean toward the sports, but as long as the kids are getting involved and doing something that's, fits their passion, there's a lot of opportunities, certainly at Northeastern, to do that.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, for sure. So any concluding thoughts, Anja? This was fantastic.
It's been a pleasure. I'm glad that we finally got to do this. We've tried a couple times.
Yeah, well, as long as Mr. Low Tech here can make sure he gets us up the right way here. That's the main thing. But hopefully this time we should be okay. So.
All right. Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Okay. Well, just hang for just a minute while I conclude here, and appreciate it very much.